gonna be honest, I don't really even know what day it is right now. Welcome to the world of divided government. Election 2018 went largely according to expectations. Sorry, haters. Democrats took control of the House, netting the 23 seats they needed. Republicans kept the Senate, taking advantage of a map that was, from the start, heavily tilted in their direction. All right, let's start with what happened in the House. The path to the majority ran through the suburbs in places like Virginia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Florida, Minnesota, and yes, even Kansas. While President Donald Trump did carry many of these districts in 2016, they turned against him over the last 2 years. That turn from Trump was especially strong among women in these districts. Democrats, to their credit, nominated and elected lots and lots of women in these seats. From Debbie Mucarsel-Powell in southern Florida, to Jennifer Wexton in northern Virginia, to Chrissy Houlihan in the Philly suburbs, and Sharice Davids in Kansas City, Kansas. Now, while the blue tsunami scenario, in which Democrats not only seized control of the House, but do so by netting upwards of 50 seats, didn't happen, let's be clear. This was a very good night for House Democrats. They retake control of a chamber they lost in the Tea Party wave of 2010, giving them at least a foothold in their attempts to push back on the Trump agenda. Now to the Senate, where the news was far more favorable for Republicans. But from the start, Democratic chances required something close to a triple bank shot here. There were 26 Democratic seats up on Tuesday as compared to just 9 Republican seats. And of those 26 Democratic seats, 10 were in states that Trump won in 2016. And 5 of those 10, Trump won by double digits 2 years ago. So tough sledding. Well, over the summer, there was some speculation that a path was opening for Democrats. With the surprising competitiveness of Phil Bredesen in Tennessee and Beto O'Rourke in Texas, the harsh reality of the map started to assert itself as Election Day drew closer. And as the votes poured in on Tuesday night, it became readily apparent that any path for a Democratic Senate majority was, in truth, a bit of a pipe dream. While Joe Manchin, a Democrat, won re-election in West Virginia despite the fact that Trump carried the state by 42 points 2 years earlier, Indiana's Joe Donnelly couldn't overcome the Republican tilt of the Hoosier state. And neither could Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota. Bredesen, the former governor of Tennessee, watched as he fell short against Senator-elect Marsha Blackburn in the volunteer state. And O'Rourke, despite staying much closer to Senator Ted Cruz than most people expected for most of the night, still lost in the end. Geography was, with very few exceptions like Manchin, destiny when it came to the Senate. The battleground was in largely Republican and conservative states. And by and large, Republicans won in those places. So, where are we as the dust starts to settle? Sort of where we thought we would be, to be totally honest. Democrats controlling the House, Republicans still controlling the Senate, and yes, just in case you forgot, Donald Trump still in the White House. It's just the sort of split verdict that will allow both the White House and Democrats to claim victory. Trump will say he was instrumental in not only keeping the Senate in GOP hands, but helping the party gain seats. And in truth, it's kind of hard to dispute that argument. Trump's travels in Florida and Indiana seem to have paid dividends for the GOP Senate candidates in both of those states. Democrats will tout their capture of the House as the big story of the night, a sign that in the only truly nationwide verdict on Tuesday, voters rejected the first 2 years of Trump and Republican control of Congress. And they will note, rightly, that they built their new majority on women activated to run by the Trump agenda. So what does all of it mean for, governance? Nothing good unless you like partisan sniping and a whole lot of inaction. Democrats, empowered by their House takeover, will likely use their new majority to launch a series of investigations into the Trump administration. Those could include attempts to force Trump to release his tax returns, the passage of an ethics package designed to shine a light on some of the issues with the major figures in the Trump administration, and even possibly an effort to further protect Special Counsel Robert Mueller from the president's ire. Now, in the Senate, things will continue much as they have, although Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is likely to have a slightly larger cushion when it comes to critical and close votes. You can expect a whole lot more federal judges nominated by Trump and confirmed by the Senate. And the possibility that what looked like very contentious confirmation battles over some of Trump's top administration posts that may be vacant soon, Jeff Sessions, may be slightly easier for the Republicans with this new majority. The wild card in all of this, as he is in everything, is Donald John Trump. During the campaign, he floated the idea that if Democrats won the House, he might just find ways to work with them on things like infrastructure. And he might. Trump is nothing if not unpredictable, and there's nothing he loves more than turning enemies into friends, or even frenemies. But friendship is a two-way street. And I struggle to see House Democrats led by Nancy Pelosi working with Trump in any meaningful way. Which leaves us with this most likely scenario. We spend the next 2 years watching as House Democrats and Senate Republicans pursue entirely separate policy agendas, passing like ships in the night and producing something very close to zero meaningful legislation. All of which will just raise the stakes for the 2020 re-election race of, you guessed it, Donald Trump. And that is the point. We're taking over YouTube this week, people. Stay tuned for new episodes every day through Friday.